In the book of Genesis chapter 2, it says that God made Adam from what? Anyone know? Earth. And your body is made of 70% what? No? Water. So we are quite literally what? Clay. Exactly. So everyone from the first human ever created to us is quite literally clay and the workmanship of God.
Around that chain link fence is actually like a transient orphanage. So if the kids know if their parents aren't around and they're trying to make a living, they can go there, they let them in. There's bunk beds for naps, there's showers, there's bathrooms that are super clean. It's a place for this community, and this community is here because you can homestead in Mexico. But why are we here? We are here because they poured this slab, and they asked us, because they love these children so much, can we put a fellowship hall on this building so that the kids, when they come after school, they have a teacher that's going to come and help them with their homework.
There's one way across the minefield. You'll start on this end for my team. Team 1, you start on that end. You have to make it across.
On my side, I'm gonna randomly give you guys your sacrifice. On your side, you guys need to collectively choose. You have 5 seconds to choose what you want. Oh, by the way, there is no talking.
The reason why we do the carnivals down in Mexico is to share the love of Christ. We play with them and just show them a good time. And then at the end of the carnival, we put on a puppet show where we tell them the real reason why we're there, which is the Jesus Christ came for them and died for their sins. And then we sing with them and pray with them and see if any of them want to accept Christ when they're done. We do the carnivals, we focus on the young children. A lot of the older people are at work, families at work, older kids are at school, and in the evening times we have an opportunity to partner with the local church, which puts on outreach events in parks, and they invite people in the community, either ones that we've met at the carnivals early in the day, or just members of the church and members of the neighborhood that they live in that they want to reach out to and maybe encourage to go to their church. We set up an evening where we provide food for them, they provide the message, and then we provide kids to play with their kids and show them a fun time.
So the purpose of this game was to show us that God has the one true path for us, and that if we stray from that path, we have to make sacrifices, and sometimes we're able to choose those consequences, sometimes we're not. And these false paths can lead us astray easily, and we have to be devout and return to the Word, return to Him, to be able to know what the right path is.
Correct. Helper. Correct.
What are you handing out? Your soul. Your soul? You gave up your soul before college?
So he's on the right spot.
God has the one true path for us, and that there are many things that can take us off that path, whether they're false maps, false other paths, or just our own desire to walk away from that path.
What's right so far? This is right so far.
We went to 8 different locations during our carnival this year. They are people and families that partner with the local church that we work with, and we oftentimes go in their front yards or in a local church that is like an outreach to the main church, and we set up a carnival and play with the kids and give them prizes. The carnivals were really good. We went to 2 places that we've never been to before. We went to a brickworks, a community that basically makes bricks, very impoverished area, and it was just really cool to see those kids that were getting toys and just receiving love that they don't normally receive. And then we also went to the location we did our construction site, and again, you could tell that those kids are not used to receiving as much attention and love that they got this week, and it was exciting to see. And then at the end we put on a puppet show where we explain to them why we're there, and that is that Jesus loves them, and then we do a prayer for them where they can accept Christ if they want at the end.
Thank you for what God has placed in your heart for this place.
Porque se van a bendecir muchos niños a través de lo que se va a hacer aquí.
Because a lot of children and young people are going to be blessed from what you will be doing and what God is doing here. Because most of the kids that come here, they actually come from being the children of the trash. They go rummage trash. Okay, that's a way of living here. This is a refuge for them. This is where they could find a little bit of peace and love for them. We're talking little kids, okay? Her other children, when the ministry began, now they're 16. She has children, young people up to 16 years of age. She says, God bless you for what you're doing, and just as the word says, that may the Lord bless what you're doing with your hands, because that's what you're going to use. Okay? So God bless you.
While we are already given assurances and encouragement by God, sometimes it helps to also receive those same encouragements about us from others. That's why we decided to have this activity done, so that the students have the ability to lift up each other and to be lifted up by each other, to hopefully look back on these in times of darkness, to be a ray of light, to help them come back from whatever they're dealing with, and help them to remember who they truly are in the eyes of God and others. The time that this activity took up was always full of laughter and joy, and it was really encouraging to see the students really go all in on this, to not only be willing to hear what others have to say, but to express how they felt about their peers and lift each other up. So I would call this a definite success.
Out of all the amazing sights that there are in the world, out of all the amazing stars there are, He created us. And we're more important to Him than any of the most beautiful things that He ever created. So knowing that, let's sing with everything that we have. Falling from the clouds, a strange and lovely sound. I hear it in the thunder and the rain. It's ringing in the sky, like cannons in the night. It's the music of the universe playing. We're singing, you are holy.
I thought the outreaches were a great success. We got to see Jesus and Spider-Man in a skit together, which I've never seen before. We just saw a really good mixing of our community and their community having a good time. We provide food for them, they provide the message, and we provide kids to play with their kids and show them a fun time. And then again, they have a message where they learn the gospel and again are encouraged to go to their church.